Sorry, all you YouTubers, all you viewers knew I supposed to do a live show based on Far Cry 6. With me trying to uh play this operation thing. It was it was against the wall, but I had to cancel it because I fucked up last Saturday trying to go through with the with that that operation before I do all the other operations on the Far Cry 6 game. Um, I did a bunch of operations on there. Now I did a final operation. I did a couple operations. I defeated people that are like all these other bosses. They're like Anton Castillo's right hand motherfucking guys, whatever. Well, I killed that ponytail bitch Admiral Benitez. Yeah, I'm talking about the bitch with the ponytail, that female uh uh Admiral. The bitch look like the bitch like she built like a fucking man. You know what I'm saying? She look built like a fucking man. So kill a few of her soldiers. Just no, just not her soldiers. It's just a bunch of soldiers that was uh that was like Costello's goons. I let a few of my guys take out all the soldiers. So I had to bust the fucking door with the rocket launcher. And then Benitez, the stupid bitch, got one of my guys hostage. So I had to pull a bullet in Benitez's fucking head in her her reign of terror. Then I had to do a couple operations. And then LT Gray, he gets poisoned to death. I'm trying to reach Jean Ron, like I'm reaching Jean Ron on the motherfucking phone. And then she didn't answer. And all of a sudden she dead too. That operation, that we had to go bury LT Gray and Jean Ron. So they had to do operations that was handed to me by Lucky Mama. Lucky Mama, the 67 Revolution uh matriarch. Done the operations, then get the operations ending, and then pull a stop to Sean McKay, fat ass. That operation go tell that fucking operation is objective. Tell me to leave McKay. Fuck no. I kill that fat fuck. I kill McKay and then end the fucking operation. Bust up a couple operations, kill off every motherfucker that was in Costello's fucking army. So then I had to be going with some sort of a Jason's lyric type of ending. I'm about to put a stop to Anton Costello and his young son Diego, both portrayed by Giancarlo Esposito and Anthony Gonzalez. I wanted to kill Antone and his fucking son. But Diego tells me how sick Antone is. While I'm playing this Danny Rojas. All of a sudden, I stand there with the gun in my hand. I'm like wearing a Libertad gear, you know what I mean? Trying to put a stop to them, and all of a sudden, Juan Juan Cortez wanted me to kill Diego, but it's not in the plan to kill the kid. So Antone decided to kill Diego, his own fucking self, in front of me. While I had a gun in my hand, pointed at Antone as he kills his son. He shoots his son in the stomach. I wanted to end Castillo, but Antone Castillo, he shot his son Diego in the fucking stomach. Left him out on the floor to bleed out and die. And then Antone Castillo, he takes his own fucking life and slit his own fucking throat. Shit is so fucking Jason's lyric like, you know what I mean? It's worse. Similar than is worse than that type of juice like scene that they show me on Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty game. Sad and gruesome. But it ain't meant to be. They use those, they trying to recycle those two scenes that was from those two these 1990s movies, like Juice and Jason's Lyric. That's too much. But anywho, I had to end the game. Like last Saturday, I had to end the game last Saturday before I had to go watch AEW Saturday Collision on TNT. Enough of me doing my motherfucking commentary on what I just did on the Far Cry 6 game. Ready to talk to you viewers on YouTube about this man. And it's the untold story of comedian slash actor John Elroy Sanford. His name is John Elroy Sanford. This man is better known by his stage name Red Foxx. This man was a stand-up comedian, an American stand-up comedian and actor. He gained his success with his raunchy nightclub act before and during the civil rights movement. Known as the King of Party Records, he performed on more than 50 records in his lifetime. He portrayed as, Fred G. Sanford is G is, I'm just say G in my own like that, like bitch, give me my money, or motherfucker, get me my cash, or whatever. I'm so slapping bitches. That's some Iceberg Slim used to fucking had niggas do. But You seen that show on Iceberg Slim documentary? You had the old uh thing with we had the old film. We had this pimp slapping the bitch, the fucking face. If like the bitch ain't pay him. So, but R.I.P. Iceberg Slim. But no, well, I miss that man, dude. That guy's a real ass pimp. You know. Hence on the old interview that he did back in the old days. You know what Fred G. Sanford is? Yeah. G is give me what the fuck I wanted. That's what I've been asking for. G is bitch gonna have my money. That's what G stand for. That's like a pimp would say that. A pimp would say that to a bitch, even though the bitch uh does what a pimp tells her to do. And that's what it does. In his lifetime, John Elroy Sanford, uh, Red Fox, he portrayed as a fictional character. Fred G. Sanford is getting shit done. G is getting all the junk out of the fucking way and get it sold. G is for getting the necessities handled. Okay, but it's a fictional character that John Elroy Sanford, Red Fox, had portrayed on Sanford and Son as Fred G. Sanford. It was on a television show, Sanford and Son, and he was starred in the Red Fox show. The Red Fox show was like it's like an American TV sitcom that was been out on January the 18th, 1986. Um, then later in March or April, whatever the fuck, they ABC canceled the show. And another television show that he and the late Della Reese did with Lorenz Tate and many others. It's called The Royal Family. That sitcom has been on the air since September 18th, 1991, until the next month of October 11th of that year. This man had died of a heart attack. By the time uh, he did all the final work that he did on the show, but his old friend Eddie Murphy, man, his old friend Eddie Murphy, man, he created and executive produced that motherfucker. But R.I.P. to him and Della Reese. You know what I mean? God missed them both. David Garber and Shirley Jensen did a good ass job. Let alone the developmental deal that Eddie Murphy had with CBS. I will never forget it. It was a great time back in the early 1990s, until then. And the film projects that he got from the 60s to the 80s, it was All Fine Young Cannibals. Uh, the 1970 film Cotton Comes to Harlem. It was another movie that's been out. Raymond St. Jacques and Godfrey Cambridge, and you know what I mean. Uh, they used to work with the guy. I mean, it was 1970. This was before it was before Sanford and Son. So Ozzie Davis, he used to direct this film. All Fine Young Cannibals is an old film that he had done with Robert Wagner and Susan Kohner, George Hamilton, and his wife, and not his wife. Uh, I'm talking about this other actor who's there, who's, well, I would say actress, Pearl Bailey. The people that he was working with was Red Fox. These are people Red Fox used to work with in 1960. It was Robert Wagner, Natalie Wood, Susan Kohner, George Hamilton, and Pearl Bailey. No, that film is a classic in 1960. But look, going straight in, another movie that he did is called Norman. Dot dot dot. Is that you? He started working with Paul Bailey, not Paul Bailey, Pearl Bailey. Red Fox was he reunited with Pearl Bailey ever since he started working with her in 1960. But in the 1976, he started working with Pearl Bailey after they worked together in 1960. So George Schlatter directed it. That's the only reason they have directed the film. Uh, and one of his last movies, the final movie that Eddie Murphy had not Eddie Murphy. It started with Eddie Murphy and a few other guys. Uh, Red Fox was on this movie here. This movie right here, Harlem Nights. It started with him, Michael Lerner, uh, Eddie Murphy, guys like Danny Aiello, the late Richard Pryor, and Eddie Murphy's older brother Charles Quentin Murphy, Jr., who had later died in 2017. It was American crime comedy drama that's based on what you've seen back in the old days. It goes back to the 1940s, 1930s Harlem. Back in the old days, that was back in the 1937. That was like a story based on Sugar Ray and Vernis Quick Brown, teaming up to run a nightclub in 1937 in Harlem, New York. That's where you had the old cars that came out. That movie's been released since late 1989. You know what I'm saying? So it's a R-rated fucking American crime comedy drama. Well, the main people who was working with Red Fox was Miguel Nunez Jr. He was in the movie. Jasmine Guy, I already knew of since A Different World. Her best friend was Tupac. Her other best friend is Jada Pinkett Smith. See the picture of Red Fox. This is after he was starred in All the Fine Young Cannibals. This was Red Fox in 1966 before he got into the television shit, comedy shit. But but until ever since his untimely death, uh, Foxx in 2004, Foxx ranked 24th in Comedy Central presents 100 greatest stand-ups of all time. Foxx especially, he has not only influenced many comedians, but he was often portrayed in the popular culture as well, mainly as a result of his catchphrases, body language, facial expressions exhibited on Sanford and Son during the show's 6-year run. It was a 6-year run until he started winning until he won a Golden Globe Award and he received an additional 3 nominations along with the 3 Primetime Emmy Award nominations. Foxx was posthumously given a star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame in 1992. We're going into the early life of Red Fox for a minute. The real name, John Elroy Sanford, was born on December 9th, 1922 in St. Louis, Missouri. Well, and raised in the Chicago South Side. His father, Frederick Freddie Sanford, Sr., uh, was from Hickman, Kentucky, and he served during the World War One in the 823rd Company of the United States Transportation Corps. His father worked as electrician and an auto mechanic, but he left his family sometime after 1930. He was raised by his half Seminole mother, who goes by the name of Mary Hughes, who was from Ellsville, Mississippi. His grandmother and his minister, uh, Fox attended DuSable High School. His grandmother and his minister had knew about this, but why would he? Let me say this: he attended a high school. It's called DuSable High School. It was, I think, it's in the Bronzeville neighborhood of Chicago, Illinois, where the future Chicago mayor who goes by the name of Harold Washington. Let me show you this name. Harold Washington, a former lawyer and a politician. He was an ex mayor in the Chicago, Illinois, till his untimely death, 1987. He served as mayor, 1983, until he died in 1987. But Fox had 2 older brothers. One was Frederick Sanford Jr. and who had provided Fred. Let me tell you about this shit. He has 2 brothers. One was Frederick Sanford. Yeah, here's what his name is. He has one brother who has a name who I already tried to mention. I had to go try again. A name Frederick Sanford Jr. who had who had John had yeah, who had Red had provided the name that was for the character that he portrayed on Sanford and Son, and Leonard Sanford, who had died shortly after his birth in 1921, the year before uh, Red was born. It sucked so bad that he had lost one brother. He had another brother who had no longer, was no longer with him. Uh, on to July 27th, 1939, Foxx performed on the Major Bowes Amateur Hour. It was a radio show that was as like a part of the Jump Swinging Six. Jump Swinging Six. This was Untold. In the 1940s, he befriended Malcolm Little, later known as Malcolm X, a fellow dishwasher at Jimmy's Chicken Shack in Harlem, New York. Both men had reddish hair. So Sanford was called Chicago Red after his hometown, and Malcolm was known as Detroit Red. In Malcolm's autobiography, it was an autobiography that Malcolm had came out with. Uh, Foxx is referred to. Let me tell you about this thing. Foxx is being referred to as the funniest dishwasher on this earth. During World War II era, Foxx had dodged the draft by eating a half a bar of soap. Gross. Why would you eat a half a bar of fucking soap before your physical? This guy is eating a fucking half a bar of soap right before his physical. Oh man. But it's a trick. But it's a trick that resulted in the heart palpitations. Sure. No shit, Sherlock. On September 30th, 1946, Foxx recorded about 5 songs for the Savoy label under the direction of a guy named Teddy Weig. Well, it's Theodore Samuel Teddy Weig, who used to be a so described quote unquote jazz hustler who used to be working as a producer, a record producer, A&R man, promoter, and artist manager. That was from the 1940s all the way to the 1970s and shit. He is as a record producer. This man had captured the work of dozens of legendary innovators, like jazz innovators that he influenced everything. He influenced the rhythm and blues type of shit. I don't know why he did that. He had captured the work of people, especially uh, legendary innovators, like jazz innovators. So we're going to the career of of Red Foxx. His whatever shit he did, his act in a nightclub. That's where he first went to the comedy shit. He wanted to be a comedian back in the old days. The old days, he wanted to be a comedian. Let me tell you about Red Foxx. His raunchy nightclub act had proved successful. After he started performing on the East Coast. His big break came after a known singer by the name of a female singer I do not know of. Her name is Dina Washington. Dina Washington had insisted that he come to Los Angeles, where where a Dutone Records head guy, uh, Dootsy Williams, uh, had already produced a bunch of records for Red. You know what I mean? She insisted for this. See, Dina Washington, he insisted that Red Foxx would come to L.A. That's where this man named Dootsy Williams of Dutone Records, he got beef with that record label. All this over the records and shit. Like what the fuck? He beefing with this with he beefing with this man. All of a sudden, Red felt like Dootsy had robbed him. for some reason. That's why he took him and Dewtown Records to court. So some reason why would this singer insisting for a comedian to come to LA where a record producer like Dootsy Williams that I never even heard of Dewtone Records caught his brass act. Not caught brass act. I think that's what Dootsy Williams would who was a producer at Dewtone Records caught the act that Red had at the Brass Rail nightclub. Foxx was one of the first black comics to play to the audience who were white audiences. That was on the Las Vegas Strip. It was in Nevada. So he was signed to a long-term contract and released a series of comedy albums on half a dozen record labels that he had to do the comedy albums on a half a dozen record labels that quickly became cult favorites. That's what the lawsuits happen. That's what lawsuits gonna happen. Sanford and Son. Foxx achieved his most widespread fame starring in a TV sitcom, Sanford and Son. There was like an adaptation. It was an adaptation of the British Broadcasting Company series. Now I forgot British Broadcasting Corporation series Steptoe and Son. It used to be aired years ago, back in the '60s. I did not know of. Foxx played the role of the character that I've been explaining to you viewers about, Fred G. Sanford. I don't need to be repeating the fucking pimp roles, the pimp shit. I already mentioned this earlier in this show. Fred Sanford was actually Fox's father's and brother's name, while co-star Grady DeMond Wilson, who has already been seen with Foxx, played the role of his son Lamont Sanford in the sitcom. Fred and Lamont were the owners of a junk/salvage store in Watts, California, who dealt with many humorous situations. This is one of the shows that the now late Norman Lear, had brought the social commentary to. It's based on a father and son owning a junk salvage store in Watts, who have dealt with many of the humorous situations that they had to deal with. The series was notable for its racial humor and overt prejudices, and which helped redefine the genre of a black situation comedy show. The series The series on the NBC television network on January 14th, 1972, and was broadcast for 6 seasons. In 1974, Fox was sued for like what, $10 million. That means that leaves out $46.4 million in the past year by Tandem Productions here. Tandem Productions here that used to be around since the 50s. Yorkin and Lear have founded this company in the 1950s. But R.I.P. to Norman Lear. I already told that story about Norman Lear previous Thursday. Like yesterday I was pissed the fuck off. I went and told my aunt and my cousin didn't give me the money, so I snitched on. I'll threaten to get the fuck up out of here if he don't give me the money. But yesterday I told my aunt about Norman Lear, and she already knew. But I'm gonna keep all my personal shit aside. But the producers of the show, okay, why would Red Fox, who was a comedian and an actor that he is, getting sued for 10 million fucking dollars by Tandem Productions Incorporated? Right there. And it's producers of the show for what? Not showing up to start taping a new season. Why did they sue? Why the hell did the Tandem Productions Incorporated sue Red Fox? I don't know. It fucking torn him down. It fucking ruined his world. It rocked his world up. When they saying that Tandem Productions Incorporated sued Red Fox for $10 million. They said the producers of the show sued him for one reason, that they saying that he did not show up to start the taping of the new season until the final episode aired on the end of March of 1977. That's March 25th, 1977. But the show also had several running gags when angry with Lamont. Fred would often say shit like, quote unquote, "you big dummy." I don't want to imitate Red Fox because I'm afraid I'm gonna get canceled for doing that. So, or well, when this happens, when let me tell you about the show. The show also has several running gags in it when you when Fred is angry with Lamont, even though Fred would often say, "you big dummy," quote unquote, or he would often fake a heart attacks, by putting his hand on his chest by saying, like, usually while looking up at the sky. He says, "the big one. I'm coming to join you, honey." Slash Elizabeth, referring to his late wife. Fred would often also complain about having arthritis. That's the word that he made up. That's the word that he made up. That means he meant arthritis. Meant arthritis. That's like hand pain or something. This is a disorder that affected the joints. Yeah, he would. Yeah, Fred would also complain about having arthritis. That means arthritis. To get out of working by showing Lamont his his cramped hand. Foxx portrayed a character who was in his 60s, although in real life he was like 48 years old when the production began for season one. Foxx used his starring role that Foxx used. He used it. He used his starring role. Starring role. I'm not gonna lie about Red Fox. He used his starring role on a Sanford and Son TV sitcom that had been out since the '70s to help get jobs for acquaintances such as his friends that he worked with. The late Wanda Page, who used to be a dancer. Slappy White. Uh, guys like Gregory Sierra, rest in peace. Guys like Don Bexley. Guys like what's his name? Don Bubba Bexley. Uh, let me tell you about Don Bexley. This man's been dead since 1997. Okay, that's a that's Red Fox's friend. Uh, Slappy White. I'll explain to you about Slappy White. Man's been dead since 1995. Man's been dead since 1995, long before Dean Martin. Gregory Joseph Sierra, in my book, he died since January of 2021. I put his name among all the people that died, like back in 2021, on my Facebook wall. So people would fall in love the with the in memoriam of, or in memory of. So Bea Richards, I'm gonna tell you about this shit. Beulah Elizabeth Richardson, Bea Richards. She's been dead since 2000. Look how happy she is, man. In 1970, when she was on the Bill Cosby show. Look how happy she is. That woman happy. One of those people I did not even mention was Stymied Beard. Stymied Beard, Matthew Stymied Beard has been deceased since 1981. Man's been dead since 1981. R.I.P. Matthew Stymied Beard Jr. Uh, one of those guys I had never mentioned, Leroy Daniels, Ernest Mahan, and another guy I kind of knew of was this is before he he did these Karate Kid movies with Ralph Macchio. Noriyuki Morita. This man's been deceased since 2005, late 2005. Rest in peace, Noriyuki Morita. That guy was, learning. That guy's been teaching Ralph Macchio everything that he would know, man. Grady Wilson. He was started being asked about whether he had kept in touch with everybody from the Sanford and Son TV show, especially the series himself. After the series was canceled, he's like, "No, I saw Red Fox. I saw Red Fox before he died. That's what Grady Demond Wilson say. He said this like this. No, I saw Red Fox once before he died, circa 1983, and I never saw him again. At the time, I was playing tennis at the Malibu Racket Club, and I was approached by some producers about, yeah, as we said, I was approached by some producers about doing a Red Fox 50th anniversary special. I hadn't spoken to him since 1977, and I called the club where Red was playing, and we met at his office, Red's office. But he was less than affable. I told those guys it was a bad idea. I never had a crossword with him. People say I'm protective of Red Fox in my book, The Second Banana. See, Wilson's memoir is of the Sanford years here. Wilson said this: I had no animosity toward Fox for quitting the show in 1977 because I had a multi-million-dollar contract at CBS to do Baby I'm Back, an American sitcom. My hurt was that he didn't come to me about throwing the towel in. I found out in the hallway at NBC from a newscaster. I forgave him and I loved Red, but I never forgot that. The love was there. You can watch any episode and see that. That's quote unquote. The post Sanford and Son, you know, in 1977, Fox left Sanford and Son after 6 seasons to start in a short-lived ABC variety show, resulting in the cancellation of the NBC series. The NBC series in 1980, he was playing Fred G. Sanford. Let me explain to you. Fred G. Sanford. He going back to playing that same character he played in 1974, maybe. Uh, in a short-lived revival spinoff that was from the Sanford and Son show. It's called Sanford. It's called Sanford. It's called Sanford. Um, that was that was been off the air from 1980 to 1981. It's been a waste of time. But in 1986 at that time, he returned to television in the ABC series. It was named The Red Fox Show, which was canceled after 12 episodes due to the ratings, the low ratings. Uh, Fox appeared. When Fox appeared, he appeared as in Obi-Wan Kenobi like character, a character like it's like a Obi-Wan Kenobi like character that was in the Star Wars special that was in the let me show it to you. Donnie and Marie. There happened to be an American variety show that was in a homage to his show. He mentioned the planet Sanford, which has no sun. But in 1989, boy, Red Fox was on a roll. He was featured in the film Harlem Nights. It was written, directed, and produced by Edward Regan Murphy. Fox made a comeback with a short-lived series. It's called let me show that to y'all again. The royal family. There's back to that picture of Red and Della. These two know each other since the Harlem Nights. That's disagreement, seeing that Eddie Murphy started arguing with Della Reese. Let me tell you about this. Eddie Murphy was let me show you about Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was arguing with Della Reese on the Harlem Nights scene, the scene from Harlem Nights. Reese trying to argue with Murphy, and then Murphy and pull out the fucking gun. Murphy pull out the motherfucking gun. He was about to shoot Reese's fucking toe off in in the movie. But Pastor Courvoisier, Pastor Courvoisier, they made fun of that movie with uh with Busta Rhymes and Monique. Shit, they try to make fun of Eddie Murphy and Della Reese. So at some point in 1977 and or 1981, that's late 70s and or early 80s. Let me tell you, the comedian Foxx had a business on Sunset Boulevard that was in Hollywood. That was in Hollywood, California, where the car owners could have their new vehicles. Roofs, roofs velvetized, a process that added a fuzzy, velvety texture to the brougham vinyl tops of some cars of that period, especially those that were so referred to at the time as pimp mobiles. The pimp mobiles. It was called Red Fox's car velvetizing. Boy, Red Fox had some financial issues and tax issues. But according to People magazine, Fox reportedly once earned $4 million in a single year, but he depleted his fortune with a lavish lifestyle exacerbated by what he called very bad management, contributing to his problems. Yeah, contributing to his problems were his divorces. Fox spent over $150,000 awaiting his divorce from his second wife that I did never mention before, Betty Jean, which included monthly support payments of $10,000 following their separation in 1974. That was during the time he had to get into TV. He was also ordered to pay $2,500 a month while awaiting divorce from a third wife, uh, who had to be Joy. After their separation in 1979, that was after that TV show Sanford and Son was off the air. That was in 1979 to one of those other TV shows came out, and then paid her a $300,000 divorce settlement in 1981. But in 1983, he filed for bankruptcy. The penniless Fox filed for bankruptcy, with proceedings continuing at least through 1989. The IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, filed tax liens against the property that Red Fox used to own for income taxes he owed for the years right between 1983 to 1986, totaling, oh boy, it was like totaling 755,166 uh 70 700, it's like 755,166 dollars and 21 cents. That was on late 1989. That was November 28th, 1989. The IRS seized his home. They seized his home that was located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and seven vehicles, including a 1927 Model T, a 1975 Panther J72, a 1983 Zimmer, and a Vespa motor scooter. To pay the taxes, which by then had grown to $996,630. $996,630. That was like $2.6 million in like the past year. That was including the penalties and interest. The agents also seized $12,769 in cash and a dozen guns, including a semi-automatic pistol, among some 300 items in total, reportedly leaving Foxx's bed. Only Foxx's bed. Foxx had stated Foxx had stated everything. Let me tell you about Red Fox. He stated everything that he said, that the IRS quote unquote took my necklace and the ID bracelet off my wrist and the money out of my pocket. I was treated like I wasn't human at all. That's what he said and stated to the IRS. It has been reported that the time of his death in October the 11th, 1991, Foxx owed more than what, $3.6 million in taxes. Wait till you see the personal life that he had until he met Evelyn Keyberg. Yeah, he wed four times. His only first marriage that Red Fox had was to uh Evelyn Killebrew in 1948. And the divorce kind of ended in the early 1950s. That was 1951. But on July the 5th, 1956, Foxx married a showgirl who goes to be the name. That wasn't a showgirl. He married uh, uh, a woman who had to be Gawanda Page's colleague, the late Gawanda Page's colleague, who happened to be Betty Jean Harris. Let me tell you about Betty Jean Harris. This woman was like a dancer, a showgirl and a dancer, who who was a colleague of the late Lawanda Page. The late Lawanda Page, you know, who was later to be Fox's TV rival, Aunt Esther. Well, it's a fictional character, Esther Winfield Anderson, known in field as Aunt Esther. She's on, yeah. She was on that watches sucker shit. We got Wanda, man. She's a OG. She used to be a dancer and a showgirl. But Yeah, Foxx met Harris at a nightclub where they were appearing on the same bill. As per their agreement, Harris gave up her career as a showgirl and a dancer to become a full-time housewife to Foxx. But Foxx adopted a young little girl uh, who had to be the 9-year-old daughter of Betty Jean Harris, who was a former showgirl and dancer. Her name was Debraka. Debraka. Well, that's the name, Debraka or Debraka, who assumed the surname Foxx. Harris handled most of Fox's business ventures, and such as an enterprise company that Red Fox had named after. It's called Red Fox Enterprises. Red Fox Enterprises, of which included a chain of stores in L.A. The couple separated in 1974. Yeah, the couple separated in 1974 due to Fox's not infidelity. Fox's infidelity. That means Fox is cheating on Harris. That was after 18 years of marriage. Foxx filed for divorce on the grounds of incompatibility in May of 1974. He also obtained a restraining order that prevented Harris from removing, hiding, or secreting property from their home in Las Vegas, and she had to return $110,000 that was removed from bank accounts. Fox was so goddamn absent. That was from the time that Harris's daughter, uh Deborah's wedding in 1975. Him and women. Fox married his third wife, Joy Yoon Chi Chung, at the Thunderbird Hotel in Las Vegas on December 31st, 1976. Fox met Joy, who was 20 years his junior, when she was a cocktail waitress at the Las Vegas Hilton. Shortly arrived shortly after her arrival from her native Korea. After Fox for divorce. What divorce say about? Let me rephrase. After Fox filed for divorce in October of 1979, she responded with her own divorce suit, charging him with the what word? What's the word? What type of word that these owners are doing to the animals? Cruelty. During their divorce proceedings, Fox Fox told Jet Magazine that wherever he already fed to them, he said this: "I've been married 3 times and I'm out." He added like he said this shit. "I'd rather have kids because when I gave up all this money on divorce, it should go to the children and not some guy." Their divorce was finalized. Their divorce was finalized in 1981. I'm sorry I had to make fun of that shit. Fox paid like what, a $300,000 divorce settlement a $300,000 divorce settlement that he had to waste that on. In July of 1991, Foxx wed Kaho Cho from Seoul, South Korea. They met at Bally's Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Despite denouncing marriage after his third divorce, Foxx told Jet magazine that he married Cho. Let me go back to what he said to Jet. He said, "I've been married 3 times and I'm out." He added, he said, "I'd rather have kids because when I give up all this money on divorce, it should go to the children and not some guy." Damn. This is where Red Fox had met this Kaho Cho girl from Seoul, South Korea, even though they met each other at Bally's Hotel and Casino, right? Las Vegas. Despite denouncing marriage after what his third divorce, Foxx had told this to Jet magazine that he married Cho because she stuck by him. His trials and tribulations. I'm sorry. He told him that he married Cho because she stuck by him through his trials and tribulations with the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS. She saw me with a nickel, with a nickel. That's what she said. That's what he said to about this girl. She saw me with a nickel, and hopefully she will see me with $1. I'll give her 75 cents of it. He said this. He said that's what he said. They were married at the Little Church of the West in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, followed by what, a reception at the Hacienda Hotel. This is what became more tragic. You know what I'm saying? On the death on October the 11th, 1991, during a break from the rehearsals of the royal family, John Elroy Sanford, also known as Red Fox, suffered a heart attack on the set. According to his co-star, who he was working with since Harlem Nights, the late Delores. Foxx was. Let me tell you about what she said. Foxx was chatting with a reporter from Entertainment Tonight, or ET. The scene he was supposed to be in was not ready to shoot, and Foxx and Reese were practicing. In fact, Foxx had no lines in the scene at all. He was whisked away. He was whisked away from the interview by a producer which one of whom Reese has stated quarreled with Foxx about how he could teach him to be funny. That insisted on him being there. Foxx did his scripted scene. I don't know why he did that. He did his scripted scene, like he did that. He scripted that. He did scripted his part of the scene. That means walking across the back of a chair while being livid. However, he fell to the floor immediately. immediately after doing so. We said that nobody, I mean, nobody initially suspected anything was wrong. This was been said while being livid. What does she mean by while being livid? However, he fell to the floor immediately after doing so. We said that nobody initially suspected anything was wrong. Foxx, after all, Red Fox, after all, was famous for having Fred Sanford fake heart attacks on the Sanford and Son show, and was particularly skilled at the pratfalls. The pratfalls. Reese went to the floor when Foxx did not immediately rise up and heard him say, "Get my wife," twice. Twice he says, "Get my wife." Reese called for the paramedics. Reese called for the paramedics. According to Entertainment Weekly uh, reporter Joshua Rich. According to him, Joshua Rich at EW Entertainment Weekly, he said it was an end so ironic that for a brief moment castmates figured that Foxx, whose 1970s TV character often faked coronaries, was kidding when he grabbed a chair and fell to the floor. Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy, uh, a producer, actor, comedian, producer. This man was known for doing skits and shit like this on Saturday Night Live. I did not know that. He credited with this is what he said. Well, Eddie Murphy, he's the one that produced Royal Family, the Royal Family. He credited him he credited Red Fox with being the most naturally funny person he'd known. Fox was temporarily what's the word? Red Fox. He was temporarily resuscitated and taken to the Queen of Angels Hollywood Presbyterian Medical Center. Four and a half hours after admission, Red Fox was pronounced dead. Red Fox was pronounced dead, even 4.5 hours after admission. Fox was let me tell you about Red Fox. Red Fox, the comedian actor, he is buried at the local Palm Memorial Park that was also known as the Palm Eastern Cemetery that was located in Las Vegas. It's located in Las Vegas. His mother, Mary Sanford Carson, who had later died in 1993, outlived her son by 2 years. She had been lingering in and out of a coma for a few years before her death in 1993. She is buried beside him. She is buried beside him. The influence that was been passed on. Comedian and actor, the late Richard Pryor. Let me just read his name. The late Richard Pryor cited Red Fox. He cited Red Fox as an influence. He gave he said this. He gave me inspiration and encouragement so I could be more me. Pryor told Ebony magazine in 1990. This is before Foxx had died in 91. Comedian Chris Rock. He also cites Red Fox as an influence. An episode of his show, Everybody Hates Chris, shows young Chris Rock overhearing his parents' Red Fox albums. Yeah, a young Chris Rock that shows. It shows a young Christopher Julius Rock overhearing his parents' Red Fox albums from back in the old days and getting started doing stand up by retelling the jokes, at school. Actor and comedian Eric Bishop, also known as Jamie Foxx, has stated that he chose his professional surname as a tribute to Fox. Pat Morita, rest in peace. Noriyuki Pat Morita, rest in peace. Also named Foxx. He's naming Foxx as his mentor from his early days as a nightclub comedian. On Jimmy Kimmel Live, Eddie Murphy, he said that Red Fox was the most naturally funny person that he never ever encountered. The popular media portrayals. Let's go there. In 1990, in the pilot episode of In Living Color, in reference to Fox's financial troubles, the financial troubles that Red Fox had dealings with the IRS. Damon Wayans portrayed as Red Fox, who was making a public service announcement to encourage people to pay their taxes. In the 1992 Seinfeld episode, it was called The Opera. Jerry chastises George for swearing during a during a wedding, a speech of a wedding speech, saying, "You were like a red fox" record. In the 1998 film Why Do Fools Fall in Love, Fox is portrayed by Aries Spears, the American stand-up comedian and impressionist and actor. He is shown performing a stand-up comedy routine. Red Fox appears as a minor character in the 2009 James Elroy novel Blood's a Rover. He gives a baldy eulogy at the wake of Scotty Bennett, a murdered rogue LAPD detective, including the line like Scotty Bennett was a porcupine. What was it? Supposed to say Scotty Bennett. Oh, this about this rogue. This about this cop. This about this. Oh, they're saying something about this rogue cop having sex with a porcupine. It's just like a former geologist is having sex with a bat on a South Park cartoon. Like Randy Marsh is fucking a bat in a cartoon. This is a reference to to Randy Marsh having sex with a bat. Let me read this here. Red Foxx, Red Foxx, Red Foxx. The guy who's no longer with us, appears as a minor character in the 2009 James Elroy novel Blood the Rover. He gives a baldy eulogy in the wake of Scotty Bennett, a murdered rogue LAPD detective. Including the line, he says this like, Scotty Bennett was fucking a porcupine. Yeah, this rogue LAPD detective is having sex with a porcupine. There's the rest of the line I had to read. I got to tell you motherfuckers that it was a female porcupine. So I don't see nothing perverted in it. That's what's been feeding to me. But rest in peace to John Elroy Sanford, Red Foxx. So this is filmography that I already read to y'all. All this from All the Fine Young Cannibals. Boy, to Dolomite is my name. All this shit came from Sanford and Son all the way to this all the way to all the other shit that he did. All the other shit is all posthumous. So all the shit is there. But tomorrow I got another live show that's based on a guy who had to be an actor who played a sweet daddy on Good Times. Theodore, that was the last name. Not Theodore. Theodore Roosevelt Wilson. Teddy Roosevelt Wilson. The guy who played Sweet Daddy on Good Times. He used to guest appear on that show. This is weird. A rogue cop having sex with a female porcupine? Oh man, that's sick. You fucking a porcupine? For fuck's sakes. Fucking porcupines, you idiot. I'll explain this to y'all about this part. Tomorrow I got a live show to do, and it's based on the late Theodore Roosevelt Teddy Wilson. Theodore Roosevelt Wilson, who had to be an actor and who's been known for stuff like that, recurring roles and shit. They always said that. They said that he wasn't. They will say something about him being named after. They'll fuck around and say something about him being named after Theodore Roosevelt. They will say he was named after what? Theodore Roosevelt. Well, I got the Theodore Roosevelt Wilson, the Theodore Roosevelt Wilson live show. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Better yet, see y'all guys tomorrow. Be back in the studio tomorrow. It'll take another morning to do this type of shit. But this live show is based on. This live show is already dedicated to the memory of comedian and actor John Elroy Sanford, aka Red Foxx. Born December 9th, 1922, died on October the 11th, 1991, Rest in peace, John. Rest in peace, John, my friend. But not my friend, but one of the actors that paved the way for others that learned not to be in a rush to be actors. But for those who wanted to get into the stand-up comedy world, a stand-up comedy circuit just like you. But R.I.P. John Elroy Sanford, Red Fox.